Okay, for this step, we are going to place our straps on the main piece of fabric. We'll have our single strap that's going to go on our neck, and then we have our 2 waist straps. Now, when you're doing it, you're going to open up your fabric and you're going to put the right side facing towards you. If it is super wrinkly, you'll want to make sure that you iron it so that it's nice and flat. So we're going to start on our waist strap. So I'm going to take my seam gauge and I'm going to measure at 3/4 of an inch. We're going to go down. So here's like the curve of my apron. Here's the top up here. So here's the curve. So on my waist, I'm going to measure 3/4 of an inch down from this edge. Then I'm going to take the raw edge. So I have like the raw side and then the finished side. So I'm going to take that raw side and I'm going to go down that 3/4 of an inch and I want to line it up with the raw edge of the fabric and I want to go ahead and pin it in place. I'm going to repeat this on the other side, going again down at 3/4 of an inch, matching the raw edges together. I like to have the seam side down. So here's a seam and then here's a raw edge. With your straps, we don't want to accidentally sew them into your side. So I actually just like to overlap them in the center and then I just take a safety pin and pin it through those pieces. That way they don't come undone and get caught in my seams. I know that they're going to be tucked in to the center. So I just safety pin those. Now for the top edge, we have our top of our apron. Now we have our strap. I actually like to take mine and just put it around my neck and see if I hold it. So if I put this around my neck and I kind of see where these ends, of course we're going to sew about a 1/2 inch up. And then that is, sometimes if that's the case, this would be maybe lower than you want to. I don't need as much to go around my neck. So I actually trim off maybe an inch or so, just to make it a little bit. You don't want to make it cut off too much because you want to be able to still put over your neck. And you might not need to cut off any, but I'm just going to cut, so this is my finished edge. I'm going to just cut that edge off, just maybe 1/2 inch or an inch. Then what we're going to do, so here's the top edge, here's the curves on this side. So here we're going to go, we want our fabric to be lined up on this top edge. So we're going to go in 3/4 of an inch. The reason why we do this both on the waist strap and the top strap is we don't want to catch our straps when we sew around our whole entire piece. So I'm just going to come in and then put my pin in. And then I'm going to come up and I want to make sure that my strap doesn't twist funny. So I'm just going to make sure that it is a loop. And then I'm going to place this over on this side. And then I'm going to use my seam gauge and measure over the 3/4 of an inch. And then I'll pin that down. Okay, so there we have our straps pinned in 3/4 of an inch from each edge and 3/4 of an inch down. And then you'll get checked off and graded.